I have given a point. EC2 cluster. The topic is basically what? Clustering. The technical word is what? Clustering. So EC2 cluster. How to design high available application is a kind of project. How to design a high available application architecture. Our project name is what? Designing high available application. Designing high available application. What requirement? The customer requirement is what? Java based application. You have given commitment to the customer, SLA, service level agreement. Service level agreement is a terminology of IT business. Service level agreement means the contract given to the TCS, and TCS and a Canadian company, what exactly they want? They want to have a kind of agreement. That means I'm going to give a high availability, 100% or 99% or something. They make sure that everything should be given to them. If they got any problem, so how they can support? Example, that tomorrow the website is not working, performance slow, something. So Canadian customer can contact to the TCS. How? In what matter? That means the agreement will make an rules and compliances or protocols of the business deal that we can support from Monday to Friday, this time, that time. We have a, like, when you give a ticket, when you give a like question to us, so we keep high priority. Within 1 hour we approach. That means the commitment given to the customer. So whenever your ticket comes, you have to close immediately. The priority ticket, you can say. Priority ticket, you can say. That means all people works on the base of SLA. They have to respect SLA because agreement done with the customer. You have to understand their business. So customer says what? HA is going to be high availability service level agreement to be done. Cost efficient. That means the monthly billing. He want what? Monthly billing should be less. The customer definitely say that everything I need security, I need performance, I need something, but it should be what? Less cost. It's a general kind of thing. From like worldwide, everyone, whenever they want to purchase anything, they'll talk about quality and they say what? I want low price also. So cost efficient monthly billing. And then what? Security of application. Customer says security, performance, cost efficient, as well as high availability. They want this, right? They want durability of the data, protection, data protection, data so they want this kind of, this is a requirement. So what services I'm going to use to do this? Right now we are concentrating on what? High availability and high availability. I'm just making that point, okay? Or else I can say what? Cost efficiency and high availability. We are not talking about security and best. That later we can do that, but at least we need to at least have what? High availability and cost efficient. What are services I'm going to use? IAM role, IAM service. I'm going to go for EC2 service. Under that ECT, I'm going to say what? Auto scale, ELB, elastic load balancer. So to do this project, I'm going to use some kind of services. Trusted advisor, AWS inspector. These are common tools in every project. Trusted advisor and AWS inspector. Operating system, I'm going to take what? AWS Linux. It's the cheapest one. The cost will be reduced in AWS Linux. Web server, I'm going to go for what? HTTPD or Nginx. To run that application, I need a web server. So I'm going to use what software? HTTPD and Nginx. They need database. They're using what? Now our task, our intention and objective is what? High availability. Security, performance later we can extend. But right now we are going to talk on what? Because we just started EC2. We don't want to jump most services. We want to go for EC2 only concentration. So what I'll do is now we can say something here. Designing part. So before going to these things, practical implement, you have to make a draft. Designing is very important in every project. You have to prove that what you are doing. Design. What do you have to design? Architect. You're going to have what? You have a traffic. You have a load balancer. You have a backend service. They are connected to load balancer. All the public traffic hitting to load balancer. listener, ELB. Then you have to say the kind of group of servers, right? Target group. You can say what? Target group means in the essence of ELB, these are the targets where the load balancer is going to distribute. You have 100 servers, but you want to just distribute what? Only 10 servers. The 10 server group is called what? Target group. We say target groups. Who is going to automate? Who is going to take care about that auto scaling? Increase and decrease. Or you can say scale in and out on demand. Auto scaling is going to do what? Increase and decrease scale in and out on demand by monitoring CPU metric. The increase and decrease of the capacity will be capacity, sorry, you can say capacity, server capacity, you can say server capacity on demand by monitoring CPU metric. That means auto scaling, when it's going to increase, when it's going to decrease on the base of what? CPU usage. I have to define these boundaries. I have to define these parameters that to auto scale, if the CPU goes to 70%, add one more machine. The usage. If the CPU usage less than 70%, only use 2 servers or 3 servers. Always keep some desired machines. Desired. What is auto scaling? A service of AWS EC2 which increase and decrease, which automatically increase and decrease server capacity on demand by monitoring CPU metric. CPU metric with desired machines. This is a very important point. To be available irrespective of traffic. Traffic is there or not, you have to have at least 2 machines ready always. But it will increase and decrease the capacity on what? On the base of CPU usage. And there will be threshold capacity. That means what is threshold? The limitation. That means how many machines they can increase. The auto scale can do what? How many machines? So everything we are going to define to where?
Auto scale service, it will be done.
So I'm sorry?
In the auto scale services, this kind of, I mean, like the way the EC2 they increase and decrease the scale of the server. Is it right what I understand?
Yes, server means example. Yesterday, what I explained, I'm giving same thing but technical point into the service level. Yesterday I have given a kind of scenario and I have given some story that a customer comes from where? Some Canada, right? So Canadian customer given an application requirement, they want high availability. And they said that now we are deciding, before cloud what we have to decide? Manual everything. We don't know like here how many customers, the traffic is going to come. But even we have to guess. Then after that, we have to set up server accordingly. So it was not easy and it was not accurate. If the traffic suddenly spike, then what happened? Your business goes down. Only 1 day or 2 day offer, then business gone. So the solution come up with the cloud computing concept where the Amazon is offering a kind of auto scaling facility, the scalability. The option is what? Scalability. Scalability is a kind of feature of cloud computing which can automatically scale the capacity in and out with on demand. So Amazon is offering a solution for this kind of application which having a kind of you can say fluctuate in traffic. Sometime 200, sometime 2000, sometime 20,000, sometime 30,000. But my requirement, my challenge is what? The business should be running always up and without any kind of downtime. So what we have to use? A kind of service in EC2. There is a auto scale and load balancer. Yesterday what I have just given a name. But now I want to give what? The service definition. How do you say if someone says auto scaling? Am I right? Auto scaling is doing what? Managing the server capacity. Make sure that server capacity should be available for the demand. If the traffic is 200, on the base of 200, the server should be available. If it's 2000, the server should be available according to the traffic. That means it's going to increase the server's capacity. 2 server, 3 server, 10 server, 20 server, 30 server. And with a limit also. With a limit. It's not unlimited. We have to make a control that I need to go with the capacity increasing up to 20 or 30 or 40 or something, business depend on business financial condition. They cannot go beyond some time. So that means there will be a kind of boundary also in auto scaling.
So it will be done automatically.
Yes. The word I have used, highlighting on the word, the key points. Automatically scale in, scale out.
Plus or minus with the servers at the time of when the clients will approach to the. So it will be automatically, the servers will be plus or minus.
Yeah. When the public users, right, the customer hit to the server, when they hit to the server, then that particular load balancer should receive the traffic and distribute among all the backend servers. So the server capacity should be available according to handle the traffic. That means according to the traffic. So who is going to take care about that? Which service? EC2. Auto scale. EC2 is a service, and the service auto scale is basically what? It's a kind of sub-service of a auto scale. You can say what? Sub-service of auto scale. So which is going to be responsible for what? Scale in, scale out, increase and decrease capacity management. Capacity management. So how exactly knows about auto scaling, whether need to be added or remove the servers? On the base of what? CPU usage. If the CPU usage goes to 70%, it will increase one more server. If the CPU usage is below 70%, it will decrease. Is it clear?
Yes.
Fine. The key points I have given: threshold, desired, CPU metric, scaling not, automatically. What automatically? Server capacity. Server? Auto scale, responsible for what? Capacity management. Server capacity management and cost, because it's decreasing also, it's decreasing the servers also. That means it is managing the cost also. Whenever the capacity is not needed, it's removing. That means it's indirectly managing what? The costs of the servers. Now we got an idea about this, and the time here intervals of monitoring. That means how it's monitoring that particular servers. Every 10 to 30 seconds. 30. The autoscale always keep an eye on the server's capacity, that server CPU's capacity, right? What if any server unhealthy intervals means, like here someone want to do monitoring, there will be intervals. Interval means gap. That means every 2 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. How much gap? That means every 10 seconds it will relax, it will do the monitoring. It will do like monitoring. And every 10 second intervals is going to take what? Update of the server capacity. Update of the capacity. If any server unhealthy, what auto scaling going to take action? It's going to what? Remove it, replace with new immediately. Because if again the request submitted to that particular unhealthy machine, definitely user will get what? Site not found, website not found, something. So it's my responsibility that it should not be. So that's why we have to go for what? We have to go with what? The auto scaling is doing that or not? Yes. Auto scaling is not increasing, decreasing. It's also removing unhealthy servers and keeping an updating with what? New server. In interview question they can ask. And integrate with ELB. Yes. They both work together to make high availability. What is clustering? Server clustering? Group of identical server with a master, listener. So here group of identical servers is going to be managed by the autoscale, and the listener is basically acting as what? ELB. So that means whenever you want to create a cluster, why we cluster in real time? Cluster is a group of identical server with a master control. That means to create a high availability. To get what? High availability. To handle the traffic, huge traffic, spike traffic. So you can go with the cluster.
What's up? I mean, what is the role of a cloud engineer for the data management here? How, I mean, like the data will be saved, and even though we take the responsibility for the data, what is the role of the data here?
Fine. Right now what we are doing is, as a cloud engineer, we are going to do is, we are going to design an infrastructure. We are going to create an infrastructure for them. Number one. Okay. We have a certain topic, because right now we are into first topic, that is EC2 service. Slowly we go forward, data management. We go forward, like how we are responsible for data production, durability, data durability. We are going to talk about topic called storage. We have a storage topic where we are talking about your network storage, local storage, how do you manage, how do you make the data management, everything will do. Is it clear? Right now we are working on what? High availability on a server. But durability is different. That's why I said already, durability we'll talk later. Security we talk later. But we talk about what right now? High availability to the application by using auto scaling and load balancer. Is it clear? So right now, that means we are doing some kind of our job as a cloud engineer. You have to make sure that your application should be high available to the customers. That's why we are designing that. Slowly we do small. We'll have 4 or 5 projects. We can understand easily. Okay? Network, it's our responsibility. Storage, it's our responsibility. Servers, it's our responsibility. Automation, it's our responsibility. That means what? You are not a specialist. You are a what? Generalist. I already said this word. So now, generalist means what? You're not working on only one service. You're going to work on what? Multiple services. Your role basically, your responsibility. And you should have these skills, or else the people do not entertain you. They'll not take you on a job, because you should have multiple skills. So now, what is ELB? Elastic Load Balancer, which is sub-service of what? EC2. To act as a in a cluster, EC2 cluster, right? EC2 instance cluster, to receive request of public traffic, right? And distribute among all target groups. Target group. By using what algorithm? Round robin algorithm. That means the what technique? Distribution technique. So they are going to what? One by one. First request goes to first server. Second request goes to second server. Third server. Fourth server. If the server only 4, then again come back to what? 1. So request goes to what? Round robin manner. The interview question. What is round robin? Target group means what? The word you can technically use route. You can use what? Distribute also. That means 2 words. You should not be confused in interview if someone says, how the load balancer route? So you should not say the route means what? Route means nothing but a distribute, right? So now we got an idea that load balancer is acting as a listener, receive the request and distribute among all servers. So is there any intervals? It's 10 to 30 seconds again. Every 10 to 30 seconds, the intervals of monitoring. Why? Basically, load balancer should monitor. Load balancer should monitor the backend servers or target group because of what? Make sure that the load balancer should not distribute unhealthy servers. Backends, the auto scaling is monitoring because of what? If unhealthy servers are there, removing and replacing with a new. But even load balancer should monitor if unhealthy machine found, immediately it should not add into the traffic. It should not send to the what? Traffic. So because of what? High availability. Because no customer says that I have a problem what out of 100 customer, 10 customer complaining what website not available, website is busy or something. They should not have that. That's why to make sure load balancer always monitor 10 to 30 seconds intervals.
So for one client, we can run both AutoScale and ELB together.
Okay, one client means one project, right?
One project.
So you can have every project can apply same thing, but you need to have what auto scaling load balancer. You're going to do what clustering for every client, different clients, same concept. Maybe application different. One is for real estate, some is for pharmacy, some are selling retail business, some are doing something. The application different, but we don't care about that. We need what? We need to have a infrastructure where that application should be available high, right?
So we have to run this both.
Yes, because you need to provide what? What is your intention? What's your yes, that's an important point. High availability is important technical point as per your job responsibility. You are responsible to make application high available. Whether it's a PHP application, whether it's a Java application, Python application, you don't care. You need application should be run without any fail. Is ELB route traffic to unhealthy machine, unhealthy servers? No. It does monitoring and logs of unhealthy servers, to avoid what? Sending. So that means auto scaling also caring about that, ELB also caring with that. They are both monitoring because they don't want that the request goes to unhealthy machine. Unhealthy machine means which is not working. Suddenly they have like the machine is not working, it's not finding that. So how the ELB knows that? ELB also doing monitoring. Auto scaling also doing monitoring. If I add a server manually, or if I launch, I add nothing but a word, you can say launch manually. Is this machine gets traffic from ELB? No. You have to add what? You have to add manually to the target group. What is that? Target group. You have not done with auto scaling. You did your manual machine. You launched one more machine. So it is not going to be added to the load balancer. You have to add it. But by default, it's going to be separate machine. The load balancer will not care about that until you add to the load balancer target group. Is auto scaling and ELB bonded to region? Yes. Across availability zone, because in region zones are available, so it can distribute the traffic across what? Across available zone. They can what? Routes. But if you have one server in Ohio, one server in North Virginia, that means A 10 servers there, 10 server here. Is it possible to do that auto scaling load balancer? No. You have to create separate, but it cannot across region, it can across zones. Interview question, we have a servers in different location. I want to use ELB to distribute the traffic among them. Is it possible? No. You have to understand the question. The story can be big. If you know the logic, you can understand well. Story, understand, listen first question, then respond it. It's not possible. It's a region base. Auto scaling load balancer works under what? Single region. It cannot work multiple region. All the server capacity should be maintained in only single region, but it can be across multiple AZ. Across AZ means availability zone. So now steps. We are going to do some steps. Auto scaling load balancer, because we have done some theory. Now we need to understand, we need to create this complete structure. I need to go for what? First auto scaling. Then I'll go for what? Load balance. That means steps are basically what? Configuring what? Configuring auto scale with ELB together in a one shot. When you are defining auto scaling, ELB can be defined same time. There is no need to configure separately auto scaling ELB. So you can have very faster work while doing auto scaling. You can degrade your ELB. Only the diagram, please remember what is listener, what is target group, right? Who is maintaining this secure capacity? Who is routing the traffic? This is called what? Route. Okay, distribution. By using what? Round robin. Algorithm is what? Round robin algorithm. This is what? HTTP traffic. HTTPS traffic. We call HTTP or HTTPS traffic coming to what? ELB.
So this is one project.
A small project, a mini project we can say, because whenever you have a challenge, you're doing what? Solution. But I said we are just keeping only what? High availability. Then we have to talk about durability also. So it's a mini project because you're doing multiple things here. You're using auto scaling, load balancer, integration part. Whenever you have an integration part, multiple services, that is called what? A project. That means giving a solution by gathering multiple services, giving what? A kind of solution. A kind of solution. Now, what I have to do is, step is what? I'll say here steps. I want to use what? EC2. We know how to launch the EC2. As a real-time case, we'll do what? One application will launch. We'll use what? One application. I'm launching one machine. The first step is what? Launch one machine. So what I want to do is, I need application also. So I'll take what? I'll take the free website, free-css.com. If you go there, you'll get sample applications. I did this, right? So I want to what? Extract it. I want to do what? Extract. That means I downloaded what? A sample application. A sample rental business. Rent for you. The business name is what? The application name is what? Rent for you website template. I downloaded because I want to use in my project. So now I did this. Then second, I'm going to do what? I need one server. I need what? One server. How do you work? First, you need to create what? A model. What is that? Create a model of server. What do you need? I need web server, I need application to be running. Whatever you want, first prepare the one machine first. Prepare one machine. Prepare manually. Example, I want to go forward EC2 Linux, AWS Linux. We want to go forward with that. I want to install HTTP server. HTTPD is an application of Linux. Whenever I install this package, Linux will become as a what? Web server. Web server. I'm making this machine as a web server and hosting what? Application code. Whatever the code developer has given to me, I need to set up here. One server I have to prepare manually and I have to test whether it's working or not, whether it's serving the website or not. Once it's done, your next task is what? You have to create immediately what? Image of the server. What is that? Create image of the server. Image. Image is a duplicate copy. That means whatever you have done, I'm just copying it. Exactly copy is called what? Image. So this image, why I'm copying? Because I want to pass this image to auto scaling, because auto scaling is generating the servers. So it should not generate a server normally. It should generate my requirement. Web server, application server, everything, whatever the software I have, with the same configuration, it need to generate. So first I need to give a copy to that auto scaling. That's why I'm creating what? Image. Image is a what? Exact copy of what? Current server, right? Current server. Now we got this copy. Then what we do? After that, we need to define whenever that auto scaling want to launch, it need what? Some information. What information it need? It needs some configuration. That is called what? Template. What is that? You have to create template which says what? AMI, instance type, key pair, security group, and we need what? Storage. As we know that while launching the EC2 machine, you'll find a lot of arguments, right? What argument? What type of instance type you required? What type of operating system you required? Linux, Windows, or what you want? How much RAM, what much CPU is required? The templates contain all the information about what? Launching information, launching configuration. Everything will be done by template. The template, the image I'm attaching to what? Template. And I'm defining what? How much storage I need, how much RAM and CPU I need, which type of network I need, everything I'm defining. Template is a file, only a kind of configuration file. You remember that. Template is a what? Configuration file which hold all this information, which hold launching information. So now this template is ready now. So now we are going to start what? Making what? Auto scaling. We are going to start what? Now start what? Create auto scale group. So you have to attach this template to what? Auto scale. You have to attach what? This template to auto scale, because auto scaling is launching server. So which server should launch? According to our requirement, we'll say take this image, take this instance type, everything, use this configuration to launch it. So I'll pass the configuration to auto scaling. So auto scaling automatically launch with the help of template. Template is inputted by user. I'm going to give a requirement. What and which machine you need to launch. So it will have what options? Auto scaling will have what options? It will ask what? Name of that auto scaling. It will ask template. It will say what? Template, and as well as it say notification. Notification means if something goes wrong, to whom it need to email. Notification also done by auto scaling configuration you have to set, and you have to set what? ELB integration. In the auto scaling setup itself, it will ask which template you want to attach. And if something happened to any server capacity load, then to whom I need to contact. So I have to give email address of my team. That is called what? Notification. And ELB integration, that means while creating auto scaling, I'm saying that integrate the ELB also, elastic load balancer. Then multi-AZ selection. That means while launching, the server should not launch in one zone. It should launch what? Multiple zone, because of what? High availability of the server. Region and zone. I have given already diagram of region and zone. A region is a specific physical area. In that there will be a building 1, building 2, building 3 in Amazon data center. So one data center, second data center, third data center. So all this data center is going to be called as what? Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. They are separated to each other. If one building having some problem, one department, one data center unit is having some problem, at least second data center is available. How the Amazon is created there in their infrastructure. So you should not launch server on one building, one unit. You have to launch what? In different unit, because if something happened to one building, so it will not get affect to your application. So auto scaling, we have to say auto scaling, whenever you're launching the server, you should launch where? Multi-AZ. The best practice is what? Multi-availability zone. Now, with this notification, everything done. So once your group is created, that means your application is ready for the customer. Your server automatically launch, and you have to define the capacity what? Capacity parameters. What parameters you have to define? Minimum, maximum, or desired. How many machine you require? Minimum. How many machine you require? Maximum. Everything will be defined here. This. So now the work finish and your application will be ready. Your server will be ready with what? Auto scaling and load balancer. Suppose I said to my auto scaling, create only 2 server initially. If required, then add it. And the users can connect. User can connect and test to load balancer whether the website is running or not. This structure will be ready by configuring these steps. 1, 2, 3, and 4 steps. 4-step process. You say what? Workflow of EC2 cluster workflow of doing your cluster designing. So what I'm going to do is, first step I have to do what? Manual machine. So I want a manual machine. I'll go for what? Launch. I go for what? Launch. So what I'll do is, because we are at least now 8:27. So if I start now, it will take time. So when we'll do practical everything in the same time. When we do on the same time. So now at least what you got an idea, you have to understand the question answers. Question answer means what? Is it possible to launch or to create auto scaling group? Auto scaling group without template? No. It's a very important question. That's auto scaling group can send notification by using what? Notification to certain team if something goes wrong. Yes, by using what? SNS service. The Amazon having what? Simple notification service. So auto scaling will take help from what? One service called what? SNS. To send a notification. It's auto scaling is not doing that. Auto scaling taking help from where? One more service called what? SNS.
Can you clear the first question, sir? Is it possible to create auto scaling group without template? What is template?
Oh, have you not listened this initially? What I just explained here? Template is a pre-designed configuration. That means you're writing a file. You're storing all the configuration, whatever I need to launch the machine. Template is nothing but a what? Predefined settings. Predefined setting means I want to write an instruction in a file that while launching, use this instance type, key pair, security group, storage, AMI. I have written this instruction. This instruction I am giving to where? To auto scaling. So auto scaling, whenever it's launching automatically server, it's launched on my instruction, what I given the instruction. So you have to create an instruction file. Is it clear?
Yes.
So is it possible without template? No. Without instruction, how auto scaling can create? Auto scaling is going to create automatically machine, but without administrator, cloud administrator instruction, it cannot go. This all instruction I'm going to store in a file called what? Template.
Template is a server.
Template is a file. Please remember this. Template is a common terminology we use in MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, everywhere. Template is a word predefined. Predefined. Instruction, you can say instruction, predefined instruction in a, you can say text file. It's a file, it's not a server, it's not a software, it's not something. It's a file, I'm storing something, right? Instruction in a text file for auto scaling, auto scale launch. If auto scale want to launch anything, it needs some instruction. Which instance type, which storage, which network it need to take. So I'm going to store everything into where? Into template. So now, is it best practice to say auto scale launch EC2 instances server in multi-asset? Yes, it's a best practice for making an high availability across availability zones. We must say to autoscale launch the servers in zone A, zone B, zone C, something, but not only zone A. Example, I have a bank account, only one Axis Bank, so I'm just dumping my money and earning money and everything in bank. What happened? I got idea that information that bank service is not available, but I need some urgent transaction. I'm going ATM, there's a problem. I'm going for bank, say that holidays. So I stuck. So it's good idea what? Keeping your money in 2-3 banks. If something happened to Axis Bank, at least I can contact SDFC. So same thing, when you're running the servers, you should not keep only one servers into one zone. Zone is a data center available on Amazon physical location. So it's not good practice to run your server in one single zone. You have to go for split. Few servers in zone A, few servers in zone B, zone C or something. So if something affected to zone A, so even though my application is available for the customer, it will not get disturbed. So that's why you have to do what? You have to say auto scaling, launch the servers in what? Multi-AZ. Multi? Is it clear now? The question answer is very important. So I have done this, okay. So I'm closing this. Have you done this diagram? What is the workflow? How we need to do step-by-step sequence? What I have to create first, second, third, fourth? Manual machine, the image, template, and auto scale. Auto scale workflow. So I'm closing now. Please refer the subject, understand the flow, understand the terminology, what is increasing, decreasing, in and out, what is time control, who is monitoring. Question, I have given some question answer. Once you understand the fully, then you go implementation. How they work, how the auto scaling work, how the ELB works. Once you know well, then you can start what? Implementation actions.
In the workflow, you have created a test.
Sorry, what do you even say? Test.
The workflow,
Uh-huh.
the workflow diagram.
Uh-huh.
Workflow diagram. You have created a test.
Test.
What?
No,
Yeah.
I have not created test. I have created what? I have created a manual machine, right? First model. Then second is what? I said image. Exact copy of a what? Current server. Third, I said about what? Template. Template is a kind of setting instruction to auto scaling, how to launch and what to launch. Then I said what? Auto scaling group. I have not said any test. Please check out.
Okay.
Okay. Okay then. So we'll see you tomorrow. Please. Take care. Sami, yesterday I did not get your confirmation update. I said I want that what you have done yesterday. Have you created account? Have you launched the machine? Have you launched the machine? EC2? Oh, that's very before auto scaling load balancer. You should know EC2. That's why I said, do you have a time to or not? You said you have a time. Account created? No, please do the help on EC2 launching, because that all information, key pair, security group you should know. Then it's going to be easy for you, right? Please make update. Yes, I got understanding about EC2, right? Launching and screenshot. Send me to the group.
But he was getting an error yesterday. Pending now.
Kiss me.
You were not able to launch.
Which one?
SQL server.
SQL Server is different. It's a separate practice, software and something. But at least launching in Linux machine. How to connect, how to launch, how to connect. Simple you go.